out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuned to Apartment 5B podcast, hosted by your man, Kill. I got my squad with me in effect. As always, I got my brother, JR, the R&B guru. What's up, bro?
What's going on? Feeling good. Thursday.
All right. In the Red Cup, I see you, Playboy. We got my brother, Spence, from Philly. What's good, Spence?
Ready to get the show started. I'm not going to say thanks for having me. No.
There you go. There ain't no more thanks for having you, bro. You part of the crew now, man.
Right.
Two, God salute you. Spence just celebrated his born day, so definitely props to you for that, bro. That's a definitely thing, man. Where we from, we ain't supposed to live past 50 plus, so we both here, man, and that's a testament to, God's will right there, because it's a lot of boys who ain't make it close to 50. So anything over 50 is above and beyond a blessing. So definitely, and always shout out Spence. This boy drives down once a month from Delaware to volunteer with my teams, which is huge because I got boys who in the DMV who don't slide through. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate that coming down. My kids take to you. They asked me where you was today, bro, because I had that same crew from last weekend there. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, where your ball? Where your ball? Like, because we kept saying ball, a young ball, and they was like, yo, where your ball at? Or whatever like that. So,
okay.
I'll
be back down there next month.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, y'all know me. Let's jump right into it. This week's show, we're going to be talking about, I was on YouTube the other day and I saw this John, and it was basically like, what are like the Wire's characters' worst mistakes that they made during the show? So, maybe you say Stringer putting a hit on Brother Muzone, maybe with Avon, you letting Brother Muzone murder Stringer. So it's like, what was everybody's worst mistakes? And I was like, yo, that's a dope topic. So we're going to be looking at what are your 5 favorite artists, singers, rappers, producers, groups, whatever you got. What were their biggest mistakes in their careers? Like, what was something that they did that you feel like, you shouldn't have done that? Like, that's where it started to go downhill, or that's where it went left. So that's what we're going to be chopping it up about today. I'm going to set us off. The first person that came to mind was Conway the Machine. You know what I mean? So the thing with me and Conway is, if we go back to 2018, I was the biggest Griselda fan in the world, to the point bulls on this show would be like, yo, we don't like Griselda because you talk about them so much. That's all you talk about is Griselda. Nick would be like, yo, nigga, I had to stop listening because you won't shut up about these niggas. And I'm talking about when Con had Reject 2, Goat, Everybody Is Food, all those joints. And then just out of nowhere, it just seemed like he started dropping like 4 to 5 projects a year. And it just felt like I felt like his mistake was just dropping way too much music. You know what I mean? And the reason why I felt like that was a mistake, because one, you don't get an opportunity to miss the artist. You know what I mean? Because they're constantly dropping. Like, there's never a chance, like, how I remember back in the day, Spence, you'd be like, damn, man, I ain't heard, a new Common in a minute. Or, when the new Tribe, like, it's been 2 years since the last Tribe. Like, you want to be like, when is it going to drop? Whereas with Conway, it was just like album after album. I forgot what year it was. It was the year he did the joint Lulu with Alchemist that I thought was going to be crazy. And even that joint was just like, of course, Con has never come whack, like nowhere near it. But that Lulu joint with him and Al, I thought was just going to be crazy. And I think it was maybe 1 or 2 joints I liked off of it. And then it was just like, yo, here go a project with Big Ghost. Here go a project with such and such. Here go. And it just kept coming. So I just felt like for me, it was just too many albums. And then I think the other thing with Con is, and again, it's no shot, but it's just like, it's not like this boy talks about a lot of different topics. So it's almost like the same thing over and over again. Like, we know you got shot. We know you left the spittle in a week. We know you got more money than us. We know your tour bus flies over. I mean, your plane flies over our tour bus. We know you courtside at filling in somebody basketball player. So it just started becoming too predictable. So that's why I think, for me, where I felt like the mistake was. And on the R&B side, and JR, I'm curious about this. One of my favorite R&B singers, and again, this is just favorites. This is not GOATs. This is not greatest of all time or all that. Was Carrie Hilson. I really fucked with that Pretty Girl Rock album. I thought that was a solid album. You know what I mean? What was her mistake? Dissing Beyonce. You just don't do that. You can't diss Beyonce. Like, that's like career suicide. And I saw a video with her recently. I don't know if it was recently, but I just saw it recently with her and Angie Martinez. And she was saying how, like, I guess a producer or the label had pushed her to diss Beyonce or whatever. So do you know the story or like what happened?
Yeah, so Polo the Don, y'all know the record, Turning Me On with her and Lil Wayne.
Right.
It ended up being a big record for her. So they wanted her to do a remix. So Esther Dean, who actually wrote the record, because Carrie didn't have time, the record was kind of like out of here. So she was torn with Lil Wayne. So the record label and Polo the Don and them was kind of pushing her to make this remix. So she got a day off, went down there to Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, and she got the lyrics, and she was like, wait, whoa. She was like, I don't want to do this. And Polo and them told her, if you don't do this remix, we won't release your album. So it was like she was in a rock and a hard place. So she added, because if you listen to the remix, her verse, it's not even making sense of what the song is about.
Right.
So they made her do that, and she did it, and quote unquote, he was like, just do it. We ain't even gonna put it out. He leaked it. Polo leaked it. You know what I mean? Just like he leaked Love in His Club and all of that. Like, then he leaked it after it helped for Lil Jon for years. So he did that, and once it leaked, like you said, it was career suicide. This is 2008, 2009. Beyonce is huge. You know what I mean? And and Carrie, this is her first album coming out. So by the time the second one comes out with Pretty Girl Rock and all that, ain't nobody really caring because everybody's asking her these Beyonce questions. So it kind of ruined her for real. And then Polo the Don kind of left her hanging and went and worked with Beyonce. So it's like your own producer and Timbaland, they went and worked with the person that they dissed, but you had to take the rap for it.
So, but what was the science behind them wanting to diss Beyonce? Were they thinking it was going to sell more records? Did Polo have a beef with her or something?
To create like a little buzz, like create more of a buzz. Controversy sells. But Beyonce wouldn't have been the one that I would have wanted to go at. You know what I mean? Like,
go at Ashanti or go at somebody, not Beyonce.
Or go at Sierra. You know what I'm saying? Go at her. Like, why would you go at B? B is up here and you're trying to get there. Like, this ain't 2003 when she came out with Dangerously in Love. Okay, cool. You can kind of make your way there, but
I don't even know that because she still was the shit though. I'm with you. This Sierra or somebody.
Probably a little bit better than Carrie because this is her first solo shit. Beyonce is already 3 albums in by this time, and she's huge. That was a wrong move from Polo, and she said her career kind of never was the same.
Now tell me this, because we did an Apartment 5B a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, niggas lie. Women lie too. Do you believe Carrie? Because when I first heard that, I'm like, well, that's normally what somebody would say. It wasn't me. Artists love blaming the label. Your album flop is a label. Album did this. A&R wasn't me. So do you believe Carrie?
I believe her because, Kill, I was kind of like you when I first heard it. But then I did some research, and there's another artist, Kelly Clarkson, y'all know her. She did this record, My Life Was Up Without You, which Dr. Luke, because y'all heard the stuff with Dr. Luke and how he was sexually doing things with his
bro. The only Luke I know is Luke Skywalker, like Uncle Luke. I just know Uncle Luke. I don't know who Dr. Luke is.
So they told Kelly, if you don't, and she's white artist, they told her, if you don't do this record, we're not gonna release your album. So if she's getting that, Carrie could get that shit too. And Kelly Clarkson is a way bigger artist than her. And the labels will tell you that. And I've been seeing a lot of and doing a lot more research. If these labels want you to work with this artist and you don't, and you work with this producer, you be like, I don't want to work with them. They'll be like, well, no, then we ain't putting your album out. Or if we put it out, we ain't gonna put no money behind it. Like they're evil like that. Like the networking is crazy. You know what I mean? So So at first I was like, Carrie, for real, like, because you was kind of tight that you wasn't on Love in This Club because she was originally on that, the remix, and they threw Beyonce on there. So, you know, I'm like, Carrie, you kind of might have felt a little way. But then when she came out with it, I was like, yeah, then Polo is known for that, I heard too. So
I mean,
it's crazy.
The one that kind of got messed up Hit Boy, right? Polo the Don put Hit Boy in that long. Yeah, that Hit Boy just got out of his contract and everything.
Right.
Oh, it was Polo. I thought that was something with Ye that he had the Oh, that was Polo.
That was Polo the Don first. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, cutthroat industry, bro. This is why when I was trying to get in the game 25 years ago, I was like, do I want to play in this end? You know, do I? Because I feel like you almost got to change your character somewhat, some way to succeed in that industry. And I was at that crossroads when I graduated, like, do I really want to change my character to get over here or whatever? So now, like you said, definitely cutthroat. JR, who you got up, man?
Well, all mine is R&B for real. I thought I was going to do hip hop, but all mine is R&B. We're going to start with my favorite artist, which is Mary J. Blige.
What is Mary's biggest mistake? I can't wait to hear this.
When she went back with Puff and did the Love and Life album to me, I think it was a mistake. They were not the same artists. They were not the same people. You know what I mean? For real. So it was like Mary has done 3 albums without him. So this is Puff that's going to tell you what he wants, when he want it, and how he want it. And Mary is not that artist no more. She like, look, nigga, I done did 3 albums without you, and they sold. You know what I mean? So I don't need you telling me what I need to do. And, you know, we put out a clip which kind of went viral. People kind of stole it, all this kind of stuff. Angie Martinez actually played it on her show and asked Mary about it. And that's the clip, bro, that went 1.1 million for us. And it was when Mary and Puff was in the studio and they were mixing the record.
Right. And he was talking, like, she was talking about that feel
going on. Like, it's some trickery going on. And you could tell doing the What's the 401 Days of My Life shit, she couldn't do that. She couldn't tell him, nah. And so you're getting another Mary J. Blige. And obviously, when you got everybody got the album, we were so big on nostalgia. Mary's not even happy with the album. She was like, it was too many players in it. It was just, it didn't come out the way she wanted. You know what I mean? And it didn't. It fell flat to me. You know what I mean? I get where they want to go with it, with the nostalgia and all that, but it just fell flat to me as a fan. And Mary wasn't just in that place anymore. You know what I mean? She just did the Mary album. You know what I'm saying? The Mary album, and then No More Drama. She's not in that hip hop soul world anymore. Like, you're taking her back to an artist that she was then, not now. So that's why when she came out with The Breakthrough, she did what she wanted, and what happened? It sold. She got all the Grammys. She got it did what she wanted to do. So I think that was a mistake for her when she went back for the Love and Life project for me.
Now tell me this: how did No More Drama do? I mean, like, okay, because see,
it did good.
I wasn't a big fan of that album. I loved Mary Up to Mary. Like that Mary album was like it.
Like that. Yes.
So in my mind, I'm like, okay. And again, this is why I don't keep up with Billboard and the charts and all that. So in my mind, when No More Drama came out and me and T really wasn't feeling it, I thought this was like, you know how we say with oh yo, niggas throw up some bricks, then it's only Built for Cuban Links Part 2. It's Muddy Waters Part 2. It's Do or Die Part 2. So I felt like this was almost like she threw up a brick, and not a brick because No More Drama had Family Affair on it, right?
That was her first #1 record. Right. You know.
So it's not a brick in terms of the industry, but I just wasn't feeling the album. You know what I mean?
And a lot of people feel that way. That's when you started looking at, these are some flaws. Even as me as a fan, because I love No More Drama, but after the Mary album, as flawless as that album is, and you get to this, And then it's like, ooh, I'm catching Mary's flaws now. Like, oh shit, okay. You know what I mean?
Right. So to me, I thought going back to Puff was kind of like, yo, without saying it's what's the 411 part 2, like I remember the anticipation for this album because like, oh, she getting back with Puff and the Hitman. Did Chucky do anything on this?
No, and that's what I said in our show. I said, no, you gonna have, if you want that nostalgia, you got to bring Chucky back. You have to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Puff, if you gonna do that, then you gotta bring Corey Rooney back. You gotta bring the dude from the Fat Boys. You gotta do all of this. You were not doing none of the production back
Prince Marky D, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
you gotta
right,
bring him back. You gotta bring Brand Cooper back. Like, if you want that, then give us that. And you couldn't. Because you were doing it. The ones that came with Stevie J and Mario Winans and, you know, these people she ain't never really worked with before, so they don't really know.
I see Mario Winans, I see D-Dot, Stevie J, KG.
Don't know. Right. Like a lot of those people, and she said it. Mary don't even talk about Love and Life. She don't even do no songs from it. None of it. So that just tells you how much she didn't enjoy the album like that. So.
Right. Because that's the thing. I think leading up to it, I just assumed if you're working back with Puff, you're working back with the Hitmen, those Hitmen, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? All right. I thought you were going to say
Chucky, speaking of, she kept Chucky for all the albums. That's crazy. Because Chucky's on No More Drama. Chucky's on The Breakthrough. But he ain't on Love and Life, which he should have been.
Right.
Crazy.
I don't know how Chucky wasn't on Share My World or Mary, too. I mean, still great albums, but...
Oh, he's on Mary.
Oh, he is? What did he do?
He did Beautiful Ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him and Rich.
Him and Rich. Right, because that's how Rich got on through Chucky.
Chucky, yes.
Right. I just think...
oh, my bad, go ahead.
No, you got Smith.
How you like the Ninth Wonder, John, that he married, he did for Mary?
That's on The Breakthrough, right?
That's on The Breakthrough.
Yeah. Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
A good woman?
A good woman down.
Yeah. You like that?
I think it's probably dope because I like the whole album. I don't think there's really anything on there that I don't rock with like that.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought you were gonna say when Mary did the chicken commercial, or was it Burger King? Was it the Popeyes?
I don't even know that.
She like standing on the table or something.
It was Burger King.
It was Burger King. I thought it was Popeyes. You know, hey man, I thought that was gonna be the biggest mistake. Spence, what you got for one of yours, bro?
Cannabis getting with Wyclef was first.
I was gonna say that, but
we heard Cannabis on the mixtape, spitting crazy. We heard him on the features, and I don't even know where the Wyclef collab, like how they like. I don't even know how that even happened because I didn't.
Right. How do you get this nigga's phone number? Like how do you even make that call?
Like that was a weird combo because I was like, now I get they sold like 1 billion records and everything, right? But I still didn't look at him as the hottest producer in the game with the hottest spitter. That like I didn't get that. And I liked a couple of songs on there, but overall,
yeah, we talking about bricks. That was a brick.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I've wondered that for years. Like, I need a 30 for 30 on that. You know what I mean? The same way we get 30 for 30 on all these sports documentaries, I need a 30 for 30 on that. Like, was it one of those, you know how back in the day it used to be like, yo, you got 5 different labels bidding on you, and you usually go with the highest bidder. Like, I've never heard a personal story of somebody saying, yo, 8 labels wanted me, and I went with the label that was giving me the most creative freedom. Like, it's always like, I just went with whoever was the highest bidder at that time. Mm-hmm. And the only assumption I can make is, like you just said, they just sold like 10 million records as the Fugees. You know, at that time, Clef is this boy. You know, is Clef like whining and dining this boy? Like, yo, I'm gonna come out, scoop you on a private jet. We gonna go out to Jamaica. We gonna sit there and talk. No, dead ass. I mean, because Cannabis is still a young boy. You know what I mean? And and if you sitting here like, yo, you know, I mean, if we keeping it a buck, we going back, like not where we are now, where we've traveled and seen the world, but you know, like just the average person at 22 ain't been that many places. So if you, especially a nigga from the hood. So if you taking a nigga from the hood on a private jet to Jamaica and you got the food and you got the women and it's like, yo, you gotta come get with this lifestyle, my nigga. And then you got like Premier picking you up in the MPV, taking you to D&D. It's like, yo, this shit is like, this some good hip hop shit. But my nigga, I was just in an island with Wyclef in a private villa working on some music. But that was a huge mistake because, bro, that may be the most disappointing debut album ever in the history of hip hop. And that's a hard ass title to have to own, to be like, nigga, that's mine. Like, I got that ship.
And when you look at his, oh my bad,
killing it. No, he was killing it. Like on the Lost Boys joints, the Firm joints, just the mixtapes. Then
everywhere he went,
he was killing it. I was just like, oh, this boy about to be out of here.
Yeah, it's like everywhere he went.
And then if you look at the producers that he had on it, that looked like R&B producers that he should. That's an R&B produced album for real. You got Jerry Wonder, you got with Wyclef. I think Clark Kent did what, 2 songs? I think.
Yeah.
Shout out my OG, a kid called Roots. He did a joint on there.
Oh,
who did
Get Retarded? That joint Get Retarded?
That was
I don't know. Let me look real quick.
Salon, that was my joint. I ain't gonna hold
yes,
you.
That's the song I like.
Yeah, that's the cannabis I needed.
Yes. And so maybe he should have worked with Salam Remy more than all of it.
Yeah, you're right, bro. Jerry Wonder is on every song on here, man.
That's an R&B dude. Like, what? I'm like,
and like you said, Salam Remy is actually a well-rounded producer that can give you different sounds. So he can give you a hip-hop pocket, but if you want to go somewhere else, he can still take you there and don't sound out of pocket.
Right. Yeah, my man Roots did the joint Let's Ride. I can't even remember what that shit sounded like. You know what I mean? But again, that's probably the most disappointing debut album because it just wasn't what none of us was expecting from Cannabis. Like you said, he was everywhere. He was killing everything. 4, 3, 2, 1. The joint with Common, making a name for ourselves. Like you said, Spence, the mixtapes, like all those joints. And it's like to come away with that was just like, but again, it's like, I think if that would have been, this is where hip hop can change. If it was 94, I think we would have got the Cannabis album we wanted. You know what I mean? By it being 97. Right. You wouldn't have had Wyclef. Right. We're now in 97. Now we in the shiny suit era. Back in those days, no label was really on some old like, yo, I'm taking you here and there and this and that, yo. Because here's the hard part, like, you just sold 10 million records. Like, this dude just sold 10 million records, and it's not like the score was whack. It's still, you did this, and you have one of the dopest albums. So it's not even like this nigga went and got with Tone Loc or got with somebody whack who sold a whole rack of records. Like, the score is a legitimate hip-hop classic. So it's almost just like, and I feel like a lot of times labels will be like, yo, bro, trust me. I know you don't like the song, but trust me. This is gonna be like, look at what Russell did with Walk This Way. Them niggas ain't want to do Walk This Way, but it was like, yo, just trust me. And then, Walk This Way becomes this global hit. So with Wyclef, if you got a nigga who's like, yo, you wanna be a star, nigga, I am a star. I just sold 10 million records. Like, trust me. Right, trust me. I know you ain't in love with this. The problem is you just trusted the wrong nigga because,
Then to think too, as much as Wyclef was selling him a dream, a lot of the score was sold because of the R&B stuff.
Again, here's the wild part. My man Titan, who used to DJ for the station, he used to work at this record store in Baltimore called Metro. And he was saying how everybody was coming to the record store like, yo, I want to buy that song Killing Me Softly by Lauryn Hill. They wasn't asking for the Fugees, and had to tell them, he told them there's no single for that. So if you want that song, you have to buy the album. Yep. And everybody was buying the album. So at the end of the day, there's no shot to Wyclef because he's, incredible producer, dope MC or whatever like that. But again, I just think the whole draw to the Fugees, for me at least, was Lauren. You know what I mean? I'm always waiting for Lauren's verse. I'm always waiting for Lauren's hook. I'm always waiting for Lauren. You know what I mean? So it's no diss to Wyclef, but a lot of that 10 million plus success was really Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. So again, you know, it's just one of those things. Now, this is the thing that I always say. The sad part is that Cannabis never bounced back, because he could have said, and I don't know if Wyclef kept him in the deal. To be honest with you, after that album, I never listened to another Cannabis album. So I don't know if he had him in a deal. I don't know if Jerry and Wyclef was producing the sophomore, the next album, but it just felt like, it's like, all right, we dropped the ball on that. I still felt like Cannabis could have came back, and he just never did. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the thing. Even when people talk about, you know, Tikal and it wasn't the 5 Mic Classic, I'm like, but Meth has had 5 more solo albums since. You know what I mean? So it's not like it was a one and done, like you never got another opportunity to do it. You know what I mean? It's like the young boy who's trying to get into college and he got past the SAT. Nigga, you can keep taking the test, like, but you keep failing it, nigga. So it's not like it's a one and done. You have an opportunity to go back out and be like, yo, I fucked up. I should have got with Wyclef. Yo, Primo, Pete Rock, Ski, whoever's the ill producers at the time, let's go make this classic. And it didn't happen. And it didn't help either that, you know, you was in the studio with Premier. He played you the beat for Devil's Pie, and you ain't like the beat. You know what I mean? And then D'Angelo hears it and, you know, makes it the Devil's Pie. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like you in the studio with Primo and you turning down beats. Like, nigga, you just was with Wyclef and you gave us that shit. How you gonna turn this down? Like, nigga, how you just eating Burger King? Now we had Five Guys and you like, nah, I'm not gonna do a Five Guys burger. Nigga, you just ate Burger King and you ain't gonna do Five Guys? Like, nigga, fuck is we doing? You just ate a Big Mac, but now we had Shake Shack and this shit ain't good enough? Like, it is what it is, man. Yeah, but that literally may be the most disappointing album in hip hop history. Next joint I got up is MOP, and it's really not a mistake that I felt like they made. They just never had a label home. And what I mean by that is, so To The Death came out in 94, was on Select. Fire and Squad came out in 96 on Relativity. First Family for Life was 98 on Relativity. Warriors comes out in 2000 on Loud. Now, that's their last major release. So out of 4 albums, they've been on 3 different labels. And the only one that I thought would really do them good was Loud. Because there was a time when, like, Loud was just the shit. I mean, you had Mob, you had Woo, you had that Loud roster was just incredible. And then after that, everything was indie records. They did a rock and roll album, Mash Out Posse in 04. That was on Fast Life Records. You had Saint Marksman, that was on Koch Records. Then you had a compilation, Ghetto Warfare, on Full Clip Media. Then you had Foundation on Koch. Then you had Sparta on Baby Grand. For a minute, they was on G Unit. I don't even think they ever even released anything on G Unit. But it's just crazy that they've gone from Select to Relativity, to Loud, to 4 different indie labels, to Koch, to Baby Grand, to G Unit, to have a career being on 6 different record labels. I think that's what kind of just didn't do them justice, because you just don't have a label home. Like, and back in the day, that's what people were known for, was like, you know, we know, you know, Latifah and Naughty and De La on Tommy Boy, and we know, you know, EPMD and Red and Meth is on Def Jam, and we know, like, and they just never had a label home like that. So for hip hop, I got that. On R&B, I got Marsha Ambrosius, just waiting forever to drop music. You know what I mean? Like, of course, we had the Floetry. She had the late night, early mornings back in 2011. That I was not a huge fan of the album as a whole. It had some songs on there that I liked, but I wasn't a fan of the album. You had Friends and Lovers in 2014. Again, songs here and there. You had Naya in 2008, songs here, 18, songs here and there. And then, of course, you had the Casablanca joint in 2024 that I thought was dope. JR, I know you wasn't really a big fan of it. What do y'all think? Do you think, because I felt like Marsha was dope. Like, one thing about Marsha is she was always a dope she was always on somebody's hip hop album. She was always on The Game or Nipsey. She was always doing a hook, always doing a chorus. I just thought that Marsha was going to be this incredible star, and it never panned out. But what do you guys think was like Marsha, what kept Marsha from being the star that she is? And even with this Casablanca joint, it's like, yo, dead ass, I thought like this album was going to be crazy. It's like Dre did it. You know, everybody was shocked. Like, yo, this album. I was hearing about Dre and Marsha doing an album for at least the last 3 years. And it was one of those things like, it ain't never gonna come out. And I ain't never. Then little singles started leaking. And then it dropped. And I swear to God, niggas was on Twitter like, yo, this is the best album since Confessions. This is the best R&B album since here. And a week later, it was crickets. So what do y'all think was what kind of held this joint back from being so big?
I mean, as great a production as it was, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, to be honest with you. Because Marsha, as much as she can sing, I got to take her voice in dosage. You know what I mean? It's a lot. You know what I mean? And that's why I loved her in Floetry, to be honest, because you got...
Because it was the balance.
The balance was there. So
right.
For me, I think with her, like you said, Kill, it took too long. Their last Floetry album came out in 2005. She didn't come out with her album until 2011. That's 6 year gap. We done forgot. Yeah, you on these R&B records, but you don't have nothing of your own. So by the time you come out, it's kind of like, okay, we done. You know what I mean? It's like whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that was her biggest issue. I think she waited too long. When Floetry was done, they were done around like 2006, 2007. She should have popped in 2007. And that was kind of like the last year of really that R&B that she could have fit into, and it would have worked. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, she waited too long, and then that was it. So that's what I think.
What you think, Spence? You fuck with Marsha, Spence?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not like super heavy on her, but I did like her when she was with Floetry and stuff. But I think, like you said, her being on the features and stuff just probably was, I got to keep working, keep my name out until it finally happened. But like you said, it was so long before it actually happened, and then it just didn't have a punch.
Right. Because I feel like
I think the album just kind of came out too, didn't it? It just
it dropped in December 2024, if I'm not mistaken, right, JR? Didn't it like drop right?
But I mean, like
before.
Just no announcement. It just came out, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, it had a single to it. It had like, I think, one little single. But again, a single nowadays isn't what it was back in the days. It's like, it's on YouTube. You go to YouTube and it's like, oh, it's a new Marsha joint. Like, so it's not no official, like, big Dr. Dre is, which I felt like is this, because I don't know if y'all peeped this when the Missionary joint came out with Snoop. They had a whole like film that accompanied it. You know what I mean? And I felt like that could have been done with Marsha, and it wasn't. Like, there was no big, you got Dr. Dre. I've heard this album had to cost a rack to make with all the samples they had to clear and all that stuff. So you would think the money would be behind it, that Dre, cool, you may not get the whole movie like Snoop did, but you're going to get some type of added promotion. Like, you're on Aftermath. And it was just nothing. Like you said, it was nothing.
And I think also there was just no market for it. There was no market for Marsha. Like, where are you gonna put her? Who are you gonna market her to? You know what I mean? We already know her, so them samples and all that is gonna get us off the break. But with these young kids, how are you gonna market her to these young people? You know what I mean? They barely know who Dre. They only know Dre from beats, him getting that, and that's it.
But do you think it was marketed towards young folk? Like, I looked at it like it was marketed towards us. It was marketed to, you know, the average, because JR, you aren't the average 40-year-old and up person. Like, I felt like that would have been the market. The people who was there when Floetry came out, you know, the people who kind of knew her, you know, from, oh, she was on Game's record, or that's the shorty from Nip's album and everything like that. But like you said, Spence, like, how do you market that? I just expected more from Dre. Like, to me, the way that album came out was almost just like a rapper album, like a little indie album. Like, yo, it dropped. And there was like, I don't even know if there was a video behind any of these songs. Like, how are you on Aftermath and you don't even have a rap? You don't have a video. Nigga, I could have shot a video for Marsha. Like, to me, not having a video in 2024 is like, who does that? Like, nigga, grab your iPhone and just do a video of us in the studio or something. So, like, there was just no promotion, but it just came and went. And again, I don't think the average person even knows Marsha had solo albums out. Like, most people don't know about Late Night, Early Mornings. You know, I never even heard of this joint, Naya, that came out in 2018. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing too. So those were my two. And the mistake, again, for Marsha was just waiting forever to drop music. And maybe she had the money. You know, I know she did the Butterfly, so I'm sure she was writing a lot, so maybe she was getting them checks, and it was like, I'll work when I want to work. But the problem with that is niggas will forget. You know what I mean? And maybe that would have flew in the 90s, but not now in the 2000s with the digital streaming and people dropping 30 albums every week. Like, that could have worked in the 90s. In the 90s, you could do some Maxwell shit like, nah, I'm going to just chill for a couple of years and I'll pop back up. You can't do that nowadays. So those are my two. JR, who you got up next?
All right. Which way am I gonna go? All right, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go to Bobby. I think it's two things with him. I think he waited too long for the Bobby album, and then also the marriage to Whitney Houston took him down.
The marriage to Whitney took him down?
Yes, and I tell you why. Because even Teddy told him, he said, "Do not marry her yet, because it's going to ruin this album rollout." And that's exactly what him marrying Whitney did. It ruined the whole rollout for him, because by then, now, there's no more of the questions about him. It's all about him and her. And I'm like, okay, you're going to do that, then the label should have been like, all right, if you're going to do this, let's throw out something in common with both of them. If we're going to do that, let's go with it. And they didn't. They went with Humping Around, which, but another reason this album is because of it sounded dated. By the time it came out, it sounded dated. It was already done. You know what I'm saying? Now we got these new producers that's coming in now. Dave Hall and Brian Alexander Morgan, and, you know, Mary's now coming with, you know, with hers, and SW.
Now give me the dates again. So we got Don't Be Cruel was what, 88?
88. Bobby came out in 1992.
So he took 4 years off?
He would have he had an album that he did, but the Don't Be Cruel was still hot. So the label made him continue to keep touring, because he was going to bring out an album in 1990, late 90, early 91. But instead, the label was like, oh, Don't Be Cruel is still hot. We want you to still tour, which if he would have brought out an album into me late 90, early 91, the Bobby album would have probably sold way more, and it would have did what the label wanted it to do. But this is 90. You bring out the album in 92, August of 1992. Mary already changing the game for What's the 411. It ain't about this anymore. So now the labels want that. So yeah, I think it was two reasons why Bobby's kind of, and that's why what happened. They threw him back into New Edition. They came out with the Home Again record, because everybody album didn't do that well. I think MCA honestly was pushing that. Because think about it. All their first albums did You got to that second album and all of them, well, Bobby's third, but they tried to do all that, and what happened? The joint was trash. Like BBB's.
Did Ralph even come out with a sophomore album?
He came out with an album in 1994, yeah.
Okay.
The single When I Need Somebody, and Jam and Lewis did that. But yeah, he came out with an album in 94, and none of them joints did good, so they threw them all back together and we got Home Again. So, but I think that's the reason for Bobby. And then, you know, after that, Bobby, it was all about Bobby in the news. It was no more longer music anymore. You know what I mean? It was all then about him and Whitney doing this and all that. So he never really could come back. So,
do you think him marrying Whitney affected it, like, with the female fans? Like, you know how, like, I've heard from labels saying, like, yo, keep your marriage a secret. let them, similar to like almost how what we've heard about Luther. That was like, yo, you can't let nobody know you gay because it's gonna mess up because all your fans are women, and if they find out. So do you think that affected it too? Like, because keeping in mind that most of Bobby's fans were young. You know what I mean? Most of Bobby's fans. So it's not like it was grown women. Like with Luther, it was like grown women. Like these are women who honestly believe they may be able to one day get with you, Luther. Whereas with Bobby, it's like teenage girls or whatever like that. But do you think marrying Whitney or marrying anybody for that matter just would have affected the albums being brought or stuff like that?
I think so, because I just think, again, when you are your audience is your audience, right?
Right.
And I feel like if Bobby was gonna do that, if he would have did it after the Bobby album, and the Bobby album would have came out, and he would have just spoken, and then him and Whitney could have got married, but boom. But then what also hurt him is his album come out 2 months later, The Bodyguard comes out. It's curtains for you now. Like, if you are never catching her. Because were they kind of equal? Kinda. But then after she comes out with The Bodyguard, that was it. Like, now you're the +1 now. You know what I mean? Like, nobody cared. So it was just like, that kind of ruined him, and he never really kind of came back straight.
Bounced back from it.
The female was like, oh, okay, he's married. We're going to move on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, now we're in a whole new age. We like the Jodeci.
Right. Because you're no longer the bad boy. You're no longer the R&B bad boy. Like, that was Bob. Like, you're the R&B bad boy. Yes. You're the one who your mom is like, don't date a nigga like that. And like you said, by this time, nigga, you got all of Jodeci. Like, you know what I mean? Niggas is getting tatted up now. Like, you're no longer the bad boy anymore.
Right. So. And then it's just like, and then it's like, now, like, y'all age can't really connect to him anymore. You know what I'm saying?
when I heard Humping Around, I was like, nah, get this shit the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit.
And then what bugs me out is like, the back cover of the Bobby album, he's wearing kind of the same outfit but red. You know what I'm saying? And the Don't Be Cruel.
Yo, I remember that way.
Yes,
I remember that way.
The red outfit he got on the baseball cap in that one, and on Don't Be Cruel he got the hot top fade. Like, that was kind of the difference. So everything was just dated. You know what I mean? And just because he had the audience, it's gonna sell. Because like you said, when I heard Humping Around, I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, especially if you're looking at it like the last time I heard you, it was Off on Our Own, like off the Ghostbusters soundtrack. So this is the last song that I heard that was a certified banger.
Right.
And then the next time I hear you, it's like Humping Around. It's like when you see that joint that you graduated with, you like, damn, shorty bad as hell. Then 5 years later at homecoming, you like, who are you? Oh, shit. Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah, I remember you not looking like this, but yeah, I remember you. So it's almost like that. You got to look at it like the last time I saw you versus 10 years later. It's like, oh, that is not you in the picture, my nigga. That's how it was on Facebook. When Facebook started popping, I was like, I need niggas to put up pictures of who they were, because I don't know who this person is right now. I'm confused. I don't know who you are. They like, we went to school together. We did, nigga. I don't know. Oh, okay. Cool. That's who you are. Sure. Okay. So yeah, I got you. Good point. Spence, who you got up next, bro?
I'm gonna go home base on this one. 3 times dope. When they dropped the second album, was it Live from At Nicholas Land?
Live from the At Nicholas Land.
And they dropped that first single, Weak at the Knees.
Weak at the Knees.
Oh, man. I thought that was a mistake for me, because I feel like the first album, they built a certain fan base. When they dropped, Greatest Man Alive, a little more hardcore hip-hop type thing for that time. And then they came with the Funky Dividends. And I thought they should have did the same thing with this, but I don't know, because they was hanging with Kwame.
This right here, 3 times dope.
So,
Greatest Man Alive right there.
Yeah. So I don't know if they was hanging with Kwame, because I know they was all in the Legion of Doom, and they the Only You Kwame success got crazy. So I don't know if they said, we got to hit with one of our joints, and it just didn't connect. And then, back in them times, you really took your time and cared on what you was gonna spend your money on. So if that first
Yeah.
single ain't hit, you was like, I'm not spending no $12, $18
Right.
on this joint. So I think it kind of fell back. And then they try to come back with the second single, the remix for No Words remix.
No words.
Yeah,
That shit
and
was
I
hard.
think, but it was too late.
Yeah.
Like now,
Yeah.
but if you actually listen to the album is thorough. It's just that single messed it up. And then after that, I don't know what happened. We ain't see him no more. But EST did wind up writing like songs for Beyonce and stuff like that. So he did come around later. But as far as that group, it just dipped off.
Yeah, the funny thing is the remix to No Words to me was crazy. And the crazy thing is my man Jason, shout out my man Jason, he used to dance for Lara Lara. And we went to high school together. And Jason got me, like, here's the thing. This is how dope. He got me three times dope third album. It was called Major Flavors. Like, I don't even think Arista had it yet. And I had it on tape. I swear to you, if this album would have dropped, I think 3 Times Dope would be, their names would be much bigger than what it is right now. Like this album, put it this way, over my life, I mean, just from my time at Morgan, I probably had 4 Timberland boxes full of mixtapes. I'm talking of every tape I ever had from going to New York. If God said you could have one tape back out of the thousands of tapes I've ever had, I wouldn't even think twice. That album. That's how good that joint was. That it was that incredible. And again, we did a show about shelved albums and just how label shelving your albums just ruined so many careers. You know what I mean? Because I promise you, if that album would have dropped, 3 Times Dope would definitely would have been out there. It would have been more than just for funky dividends. That album was bananas. And I tell people watching, go watch the No Words, the remix video. And if you like that was the feel of the whole album. There was no radio songs. It was nothing like Weak in the Knees. It was that feel of that video was going to be the entire album. Those kind of beats, those kind of rhymes. And it's just like, damn, man, I can't believe I lost that tape, man. Like, that's how good it was. That it's like, damn. And I know my man Jace, we follow each other on Instagram. We done linked up over the years, but I'm like, no, I know you ain't got that tape. Like, nobody got tapes like that left. But if God said, yo, you could get one of them back, I need that album. That album was crazy.
They wound up dropping some later, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I think it was called like the sequel. But it was, but it's not.
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
Nah, it wasn't that. Woody Wood, I think, has a YouTube like reality show, whatever like that. So that's kind of dope. But yeah, man, just great pick though. Great pick, because 3 Times Dope, that was the shit with that first album, Original Styling, man. That straight up from the Giddy Up, all that shit. Yeah. Crushing and Busting, Joe Familia.
The remix to Crushing and Busting with Cool C on that.
Cool C, I'm not here to play.
Like I said, it was Jaws on the second album, but like, and Weak in the Knees.
But I think it's like you said, when people heard that, I think a lot of people, I know a lot of heads that never even heard that album. Like you said, they heard the single and it's like, oh, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? All right, the next boy I got up is Common. His mistake was fucking with Erykah Badu, because that shit was like Medusa. That just ruined, I think, his whole career. I know there's a lot of boys who like Electric Circus. I mean, I've tried. This is the one album I could say I tried. I've never tried so hard to like an album as much as I did with Electric Circus. Because when it dropped, after like Water for Chocolate, Tom was probably my favorite MC at that time. Like, you gave me One Day It All Makes Sense, like Water for Chocolate. I mean, Resurrection, One Day, like Water for Chocolate. Common's my favorite MC. I would listen to that album at least once every quarter just to try to like it. Like, let me go back again. Like, I tried years later, like, let me go back, and I just don't like it. I know a lot of people do like it. I'm that's cool. But then the Universal Mind Control was just trash too. And I mean, I think it was the mistake, but I think the way that Calm was able to correct that mistake is similar to what we were saying about Cannabis. You can bounce back from a bad album. It would have been harder for Cannabis because it was his debut album,
Right.
but you can bounce back. You just got to make a great album. And that to me is what B was. Like B, there was no denying B. Like, cool, you know. And then I love that Calm even talked about, like, I think he said in a joint with John Legend, he said something like the crochet sweaters was whack. They heard the corn and they said that nigga's back. Like he talked about, like, I know y'all niggas was dissing me, but y'all, I mean, if you heard that Electric Circus and then I remember I didn't hear the corner first. I heard Food on the Dave Chappelle show.
Oh yeah, the live version.
The live version. And I heard that. I went to work the next day. I see my man Apex. I was like, yo, that Calm joint. Because that's the thing. You could drop a dud. You just got to come back with something hard. Like, that's all you got to do. And when I heard the Food, it was like, that's crazy. And then when I heard the corner, I was like, oh, it's a rap. And Ye and Dilla doing this album, oh, I'm all in. I'm all in. And B to me is like, we did a show about the best bounce back albums. It's like LL dropped the Walking with a Panther, bounce back with Mama Said Knock You Out. You know, you dropped Electric Circus, bounce back with B. So I think it was a mistake, but at the end of the day, I thought it was dope how Calm was able to bounce back from that mistake and he didn't just, you know, follow down that path or whatever. But keeping in mind, him and Erica broke up. Because God forbid if they stayed together. No, I'm just saying, like, they broke up. Like, that's essentially why we got B. If they would have stayed together, we would have probably got, I don't know, fucking Underwater Circus next. I don't know what the fuck that nigga was gonna do next. But they broke up. It's kind of like JR, how we say about Mary. Like, we need Mary Heartache Mary. We need that Mary gives us the best music. We don't like Happy Mary. We like Heartache Mary, you know? So that was that. For my R&B pick, I got Bilal. And I think his thing was the music just came way too experimental. Like, you know, you look at Firstborn Second, 5 Mic Classic to me, Love for Sale, another 5 Mic Classic that got shelved. So most people never heard it.
No.
Because I think if you drop a back-to-back 5 Mic Classic like that, that automatically gets you up here. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, not too many people come out the rip with a 5 Mic Classic, and then they sophomore album is a 5 Mic Classic. Airtight's Revenge. I remember when I got it, at first I wasn't really fucking with it, but then I was like, all right, you know, like, you know, it grew on me. It grew on me after a while. But I think after that, like A Love Surreal, In Another Life, or Just Bright, and it's like the music just started going a little too experimental, you know? And again, y'all know me. Bilal is an artist. He's one of them dudes who's gonna do whatever comes right to him. And I mean, yo, you know this, but he kind of looked like Weird Boy, you know what I mean? Which is cool, you know what I mean? But I just think that's what took me away. But again, the R&B guru is here. What do you think was Bilal's thing? Or Spence, what were you gonna say?
No, I was about to say the dope thing about Bilal though is that he still gets work, whether he's working.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Bilal's another one of them boys like Marsha. He'll be on a lot. You know, he's on Calm, 6 Sense. He was on The Pimp a Butterfly. He was all over The Pimp a Butterfly, you know. So he was on Jay's Fallin' off American Gangster. So Bilal is always, like you said, gonna get work. But as far as his solo stuff, I know for me, it was just like, it just kept going further and further out to sea for me. You know what I mean?
He a different bull.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, JR?
I think the Love for Sale, it like ruined everything, to be honest. Because this album came out in 2001, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, Firstborn Second, right? Amazing record. Oh my God. So now it's 2003. If they would have dropped that would have gave him, like you said, Kill, everybody would have, because that's a 5 Mic album too. For real.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And if that would have came out, and this is 2003, this is when actually he could have got a little bit of a foot in a little bit, because the neo soul now was going down now. So he could have got a little bit with that, and that album would have did fine. But then we don't hear anything until 2010. That's a 9-year gap. Like, You can't do that in music. And that was your debut. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't like it was this, and then it's like, okay, cool. Then you come out with the second one. Then, okay, we wait 4 years. This is your debut, and we hear no album. And then, like you said, now we don't even know you as an artist. So now you're coming in with this Airtight Revenge, which is experimental, which I like. But again, you got those fans that love Firstborn Second. That's what they want to hear. And it's been a 2-year gap, so it's just, and
then I was even looking at this. It was on Plug Research Records. Like, I don't even know what that is. So, you on an indie label. So I just, I just, after those first 2 albums, I was like, yo, this boy Bilal gonna be crazy. And, like you said, Spence is dope. I've seen him with the jazz musicians and him popping up. He had a live album that dropped last year that was really dope. But, I just, again, for me, the music just became way too experimental. JR, who you got up next, bro?
All right, I'm gonna go with a group. I ain't gonna go with my fave, but I'm gonna talk about them. But I'm gonna go with En Vogue, right? And when I'm gonna go with them is when they let Terry come out with that solo album. That did not do the group any good to me.
Now, when you said they let her, like, when you that wording sounds as if like it was a meeting and they said, okay, we're gonna let you, or did you mean it like that, or when she came out? Okay,
I did, because this is 90, because they came out with Funky Divas in 92, right? So 92, 93, they on fire right now, right? So cool. But then now you got these all other groups coming in, you know what I'm saying? And it's like TLC, SWV, Escape, all these girl groups is coming in. And then y'all don't come out, and then you let Terry come out with this solo project. Because En Vogue was a group that every one of them girls are not solo artists, period. They're not. They're fit for a group. That's just what it is. We don't want to see any of those girls solo at all. So when Terry did that record and it didn't do good, it messed up the En Vogue brand, because everything they brought out was hot. You know what I'm saying? So anything they touched was gold. So you come out with this solo project. That's why they rushed them to go do that Don't Go Love with Organized Noise for the Set It Off soundtrack, so it can bring them back to where they were, because they really brought them all the way down, because it was like, wait, Terry solo and this don't do that well. And then, okay, this comes out in 95. A year later, they back again. And I think it kind of ruined it, because then Dawn, she did like 19,000 interviews, you know what I'm saying, telling her story to everybody. Then she leaves. So then now she leaves after y'all come back with the big single, and then she's not there. It's EV3. Like, it just messed up everything. And I think if they would have never let Terry do that, and they would have came out with a record in like 95, 96, they'd have been good. They would have been getting the Legends Award and all of that they deserve. But they're not getting those, because it's like, no, like, y'all come out with EV3. Like, it was like, huh? This don't even feel right. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So
now, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Do you think the timing hurt too? Because like you said, Funky Divas is 92. So I'm a freshman at Morgan.
Right.
At this time and point, Mary is the shit. Not 411 just came out, 91, 92 or whatever. That's the shit. Do you think we were moving away from, like, En Vogue could really sing? Right. You know what I mean? I almost feel like the 90s kind of started people who weren't. I felt like in the 80s, you had to be an amazing singer to get a deal. Like, I feel like the Bogan, and push back if I'm wrong, because you're the guru.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm with you.
The 80s, you had to be an amazing singer to get a record deal. You could not just be an okay singer.
Correct.
I felt like the 90s began to introduce us to okay singers. No shot at nobody. Mary could sing, but she couldn't 80s sing. She couldn't do that. Right. So En Vogue and them are real singers. Right. Do you think real singers could have existed in 94 when I
do. You know why? I think also they needed other producers, because as much as Foster McElroy, they were good for them, they stuff started to sound dated. Y'all were not competing with these new artists now. So
if you were A&R'ing an En Vogue album to drop in 94,
yes,
are you making them sing over hip hop beats? Like, who are you who would you have put them in the studio with to compete against the Jodeci's? Because again, now keep in mind, everybody's younger. Jodeci is younger, SWV is younger. Everybody who's popping at this time are younger. In Vogue, just like in Juice, like a nigga in college banging a shorty in Vogue, that's like a cougar almost. Like these shorties is like cougars to us now. So how do you have them? Who do you put them with to have them compete with SWV and TLC? Because that would have been their competition, right?
I would have put them with like the Dave Hall and all this kind of stuff, but I would have kept it with, Tommy and Denny, but I would have had them do more of the album cuts for real, because you still needed them. They know them better than anybody, so you still want to keep that glue, right? But you need this new producers. That's why they started on EV3. They work with Babyface. They work with Organized Noise. They work with all these David Foster and Diane Warren. They started working with other producers because why? They, Tommy and Denny was sounding a little dated. Like now, y'all kind of behind the curve now. And then you got Dawn, who's the young and the sexy one here. So she could compete with these young, let her do more leads. Because give him something he can feel. A lot of people like her that on lead. So she's giving that hip hop flair. She's getting talked about on Tribe Called Quest records. So she's getting love from the hip hop world anyway. So I would have kind of pushed Dawn up there a little bit more to sing more of the leads and put them on Dave Hall. Hell, I would have even been like, okay, Q-Tip, come over. Since y'all want to talk about it, give her a beat. Give In Vogue a beat. Give him a nice joint or something like that. So I would have did that. But again, like I said, once they let Terry go solo and it's kind of like, it messed up the brand, and then you go and you do Don't Go, which is a big record. It's all four of them. But then when you get the album, it's EV3. Like, come on. Like, it's all fucked up. Like,
I really wonder if they could have survived, because I feel like with hip hop is the exact opposite. So in the 80s, you had to really know how to sing to get a deal. I feel like with hip hop in the 80s, you could have been a subpar MC to get a deal. But then it didn't float into the 90s. So the way that not singing singing kind of did go down from the 80s into the 90s, in my opinion, because I don't feel like outside of not Taj, who's the lead singer? Coco can sing. Coco can sing. That's hands down. You don't think so?
All of them could, but go ahead.
I ain't never heard them other two shorties. Do they even get no run?
Yes.
I always feel like Coco was singing.
Yes, they get leads. Yes.
I feel like Coco is. I feel like what it is.
The vocalist, period. Like she is.
It's almost like me and they was going. We was just watching videos, and she was like, asked me about Michelle and Destiny. So I was like, yeah, they let her do the hook, but I mean the bridge, but that's about it. Like
she's the bridge queen. Yes.
Right. So, or like Chili couldn't sing. Same thing. We gonna let you do the bridge.
I was just about to go there. If it wasn't for the beats for TLC, they wouldn't have been what they've been either, because all three of them could not sing.
Right, but the thing was, I felt like there was in 90s in the hip hop. And Spence, walk with me on this if you can. I felt like so much about hip hop is about who we relate to. Like it's like there's a relationship thing. So when you see T-Boz, I felt like when I was in high school and I saw T-Boz, Chili, and Left, I was like, yo, them joints look fly. They look like some joints. They look like some joints that be on the block. They look like some joints. And then when they did the baby video on a college campus, it was like, oh shit, these are the type joints that be on college campus. Same thing with SWV. These the around the way joints. In Vogue is not that. That's like somebody's mom. That's like auntie. That's like
our parents, like the Supremes and all that.
Right. Well, and maybe not even that. And again, you but they're the cougars. So that's the only thing that I'm saying with the hip hop crowd. Like it's almost like when Run DMC tried to make they comeback with Down with the King. Like we're gonna get you with all the new producers. We're gonna get you with Pete Rock and Premier and everybody. And they did it. And you got Down with the King, but then that was kind of about it for the album, because it was kind of like your time has come and gone. And I mean, keep in mind, I think In Vogue would have been like, I don't like, when I think about the What About Your Friends video and like the choreography that TLC and them had was much more street versus was In Vogue going to be able to do that, or was In Vogue still going to be doing the the dresses with the whole, like with the old school feel.
And I think that would have been the crossover for them as far as going into that Diane Warren and like the Tony lane, like the Unbreak My Heart shit. Like that could have been in Vogue's lane because now they're older. So you want that adult contemporary with them, but still have them they funky divas.
So but then you would market them to somebody else because you said adult contemporary. So we're not marketing them to me and people in college then.
No, you can't. You can't.
Okay, right. That's where we were missing each other because I'm like talking about for me, but when you said adult contemporary, like, that makes perfect sense.
By then, this is 97 now. You know what I mean?
Right.
97, and this is 97. This is Mary. This is Janet, Mariah, all these. But they got hip hop players for their album though. You know what I mean?
That's why I said that's the sound we want to bump in the cars and stuff.
Yeah, like y'all just boxing them in their cars. Y'all ain't
cars.
Like, no, this ain't 1990 when y'all was laughing to hold on. Like, no, this ain't that.
Right.
So it was kind of like they could have went that lane. You know what I mean? So I think it would have. It's just a lot that went in, but I think the domino effect was when
Terry
solo. But you even think about Jay when Jay came out. It was that sound, that knock.
Yeah,
we was bumping that in the car
too. They messed up too because they went to Dave Hall on the second album, which didn't make a bit of sense. Like, why? Why would y'all like? Y'all already had the new sound with "Don't Walk Away." Like, y'all gonna go there, right?
Yeah.
Right. Nah, good point. Spence, who you got up next, bro?
I got Benny when he announced that his album was going to be
on Def Jam,
and it was going to be better than or just as good as DMX debut. Which I mean, I get the confidence, but come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm a Benny boy. I like Benny too. Yeah. But even with far as with DMX, I was late to the party with DMX too. Like I wasn't on him in the beginning, but I knew how he resonated with so many people, and it was like lightning in a bottle. When he hit, he changed everything. So to expect that from the Benny album, I wasn't expecting that. I think you set your expectations so high, and then when it didn't hit, it fell short. Then you start hearing the noise and stuff. Then he start complaining, saying stuff and everything, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, and it's funny too. And it's funny you say that because I never really could pinpoint what it was, but because for a while I thought Benny had the formula. Like when Conway was dropping so much, I liked the fact that Benny was like, nope, Tana Talk 3. A year later, the Plugs I Met EP. A year later, the joint with Hit Boy. Like he was taking his time. He would, but I never could pinpoint like where it just went. Because it's funny because over the probably past 2 years, Benny has dropped joints. Like I still haven't heard Summertime Butch. Like there are a couple of Benny projects that kind of just went past me, and I didn't even bother to like go catch them up. But I do think, like you said, like saying something is gonna be as good or as better as like Dark as Hell and Hot, like you already setting yourself up. Like kind of like when we were talking about the Nas and Primo album, and I'm like, yo, New York State of Mind Part 3, like Third Childhood, like you're already setting yourself up because we're gonna be putting it up against that.
Yeah,
so it's like so it's like you said, I love the confidence, but it's like, yo, you can't say that, bro, because if it's not, which it probably isn't gonna be, and it wasn't a very dope album, but it wasn't better than As Dark as Hell and Hot, then people are just looking at you sideways. And then like you said, then it became, I saw the nitpicking on Twitter and going back and forth with boys, and it's like, I just never think that that's a good look. Like going back and forth with people online, it's like, yo, if people ain't feeling the album, people ain't feeling the album. But it's almost just like you know how the boy KD be doing. Like you know, nigga, you had a burner account, now you don't want a burner account, and you want to talk shit. Now it's like he switched. It's like and go. I don't know if KD knows who he is, because like in Golden State, you was a choir boy with the burner. Now you in Brooklyn. Now you a thug. Now you talking shit to people on the sidelines. You talking shit to people on Twitter. But I do think that was, I never thought about it, but that's a good pull. Because it seemed, it just doesn't, something just hasn't seemed the same with Benny since. You know what I mean? So next up, I got Stove God. Y'all know, if y'all watch this podcast enough, I can't talk enough about A Reasonable Drought. Like, just, I done brought the tape, the cassette, the damn CD, the album around here somewhere. Like, Stove God, that's all I could talk about. And it's the polar opposite of Conway, where Conway drops too much music. Stove God hasn't dropped enough. It's crazy. I didn't realize Reasonable Drought came out 6 years ago. It came out in 2020. Like, that's crazy to me. And then there was the leak of If These Kitchen Walls Could Talk in 2023, but it was like a quick leak. Like, they had it up on like Bandcamp for a second, and then it just disappeared. So there's a rack of people who never heard that. Then he dropped something maybe 2 years ago, a quick EP called Stop Calling Me, I'm Cooking. And a lot of people didn't get their hands on that. So it's kind of like when you look at Stove God, it's like, yo, all he really has is one album out, and that was it. Now, I heard he's like in some kind of label deal with Baby Grand, and he's kind of like trapped in purgatory. They won't let him out, and this and that. So I don't know how he's able to get on everybody's album, because usually if you're having a label problem, they don't even let you, unless things have changed. Back in the day, I'll never forget, Guru and Prima had taken us out when Full Clip came out. Like, all the DJs in the DMV, they took us out to Dave and Buster's in Rockville. And I was talking to Guru, and I never thought about it like this. He was saying how it's fucked up. He was like, yo, Primo can go produce for whoever he wants to, but for me to rhyme on somebody else's album, I have to get permission. So for people watching, if you ever looked at the back of an album cover, it'll say something like Guru appears courtesy of whatever record label. Like, so you have to actually get permission from your label. And I never thought about it like that. Like, damn, that is kind of crazy how if you're a rapper, you have to get permission. So I'm just shocked that Baby Grand has him in this position where he can't move with no albums, but he's on the Clips album. Like, he's not just on West Side Gun albums. Like, this nigga's on the Clips album. This nigga's on a Grammy-nominated album produced by Pharrell. Like, so it's just kind of like, I don't get it, but he got to put out some new music. And JR, I'm interested to see what you think about this.
Okay.
Alicia Keys.
Uh-huh.
The reason being, now here's the thing, Ski from Brooklyn, shout out my man Ski. He was like, yo, he thinks women stop fucking with Alicia Keys
I already know
when she start fucking with Swiss when he was married.
That's true, but I think it's something before that too, but that's a big reason.
Because here's the thing, when you say Alicia Keys now, people be like, and I'm like, we're not going to do that. We are not going to act like in 2000, Fallen was not being played everywhere, anywhere, everywhere. You ain't like Fallen?
At first, but I don't anymore.
A Woman's Worth was being played everywhere.
Yes.
Then when Diary dropped, You Don't Know My Name was everywhere. Okay. So what was the next? As I Am? Right. Like you'll never.
To me.
Okay, now the thing is she had the joint with Meth in the video, where Meth was the love interest. Like, she stayed with a slow jam on the radio. Even that live joint, the Unplugged, what was it, Unbreakable?
Unplugged, yes.
That was everywhere. So there was a time when Alicia Keys was on every radio station, every video show, and then it just came to a screeching halt.
Yes.
So when Ski was on the show, he was like, because the bulk of your fans are women, right. Women found out you was fucking with a married man, and it was a wrap. Now, I just didn't know women fans were that loyal to each other to just be like, oh, you're cut because of that. Because I know women who have friends who are fucking married men and they don't cut off their friends. So I'm just like, damn, you done cut off a singer who you don't know, but you won't cut off your homegirl who's banging a married man.
But you know what hurt that too? When we found out about Swiss and her messing with Swiss, the single she comes out with didn't help. Try Sleeping with a Broken Heart. And it was kind of shots thrown at Mashonda. So that whole rollout just fucked Alicia Keys up. That's why the only really hit record she got on there is Unthinkable. I'm Ready. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think for me is when Alicia Keys got her behind from the camera and from the piano and want to start dancing and shit. That stay your ass at the piano. I don't want to see you try to do a 8 count and shit. Like, it did not work for me, like, at all. And then when she did No One, Alicia was completely out of her range, and that song was getting on my goddamn nerves. Like, it was everywhere, and it was like, no, I'm not. Like, girl, no, you sound like a damn freaking chalkboard. Like, please, like, stop. You know what I mean? So I think that, and she started trying to dance and do all of that, because Teenage Love Affair, as much as I love the song, Alicia can't dance for shit. It was terrible. You know what I mean? So it was like, once she started doing that, I guess want to be a little bit artistic, I guess. I don't know. But then once...
Was it artistic or was she trying to be more sexy? Because I remember when Alicia first came out,
she looked like a straight dude.
Yeah, boys was like, oh, she gay, shorty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was like, then over time, it's like, now you want to be a sex symbol now. Like, you want to be more sexy. You wear more tight stuff.
And that married man. So yes, that's why. It made her feel like she was sexy. That's what that was. The element of freedom. Come on.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Element of Freedom, Girl on Fire, here, Alicia, then a song, Keys. So to be honest with you, I was up with her until As I Am. After that, it kind of just went downhill.
You know what? And I'm not even going to see, as much as I do not like that song, Girl on Fire, they can throw that in the trash and burn it forever, for real. But that Girl on Fire album is nothing to play with. Like, Alicia still got good music.
Is that the joint with Maxwell?
Maxwell.
The Fire We Make? That shit is hard. Yep. That is hard. That is hard.
Girl on Fire album.
See, I think for me, that's when she started making albums that had some songs on it. And it wasn't a good album as a whole. Like, me and T used to bang the hell out that first Alicia Keys album. Like,
but that Diary put Alicia like, ooh, that was it. But I think you're right, bro. I think it once.
Oh, I'm not even taking that. That's a shout out to my man Ski. That Ski's take. I had never even thought about it.
It's just the truth.
I had never thought about it.
These women fan, because my mom is like that. She was like, I don't fuck with Alicia. I don't fuck with her. She was like, I like Diary, cool, but I don't fuck with her because she obviously don't got no damn morals. So my mom, I don't fuck with her. So
how do women have morals for a person they don't know, but not for their own homegirl? Because I swear to God, every woman knows at least one shorty who is messing with a married man. And if women are out there watching, then I'll say 1 in every 10. Okay, maybe not all of y'all, but 1 in every 10. Okay, because I know some woman is like, nigga, not me. Nobody in my crew be fucking with married men. We know. Well, 1 in every 10 of y'all know somebody, and that's still your girl. You still gonna go to her baby shower, knowing she banging old boy over here who got a whole nother family, but you gonna cut off Alicia Keys. Because she fucking Swiss, she fucking a nigga you don't even know. She fucking a nigga you don't even want. Nobody wanna fuck Swiss. So, like, but yeah, so that was it for me. Who you got, JR?
All right, I'm gonna go to my girl, SWV.
All right.
Harvey Pierre they got two.
The A&R.
Yes. When Harvey Pierre became the A&R, and when they did not let Brian Alexander Morgan have that first single on New Beginning, it ruined my girls, and they never really got back, because then after New Beginning, we got Release Intention, which is a bullshit ass album. That shit is trash, and I hate it.
That's so funny. I love that album, man.
Of course you would. It's SW. It's Sister Future and rappers. Of course you would. Like, of course.
Yo, that shit. What is the shit with Foxy on there? Release Intention. No. Lose my cools with Red. With that shit with Foxy, nigga. I love that banger.
On there. They got some joints on there, but it's like, I knew that this was Harvey P. I was like, here we go again. You know what I mean? And the song that really helped the album sell was Rain.
Right.
So even though all these other they got a song with E40, like, come on, yo. Like, are we a song with Snoop?
But here's the thing. do you, and not give him a pass, but it felt like, it's like, I feel like the hard part is to have these long careers, and somehow along the way you have to try to keep up with the time. You know what I mean? So, and you would notice, because you're the guru, you go back to 1952. Like, did the Temps ever go through that period where they tried to do something that's a little different to keep up? Did Marvin like, there was never any, or like even in the 80s. I know once we got to from the 70s to the 80s, people were doing shit just like in the 5 Heartbeats. Like, we see the difference when fucking Robert Townsend is on the keyboards and it's all electronics. Like, you have to do things to keep up with the times.
I get it.
I felt like this album was that. Like, this was the, okay, everybody is doing songs with rappers, so we got to do that shit. Okay, now hip hop is more than just East Coast, so we got to get us a song with E40, and we got to get us a song with. So again, not saying that they approved of it or whatever, but do you give them a pass, or did you just feel like they should have been able to? And then keep in mind, like I said, as long as you on a major label, I compare that to like living with your mom. Like, as long as you live with your mom, you gotta follow mom's rules. You could be 51 if she say nigga be home by 9 o'clock. Nigga, you gotta be home by 9 o'clock. So if the label is like, you gotta do this shit, like you just said earlier with Polo and them about Kerry, like, you can't do shit but do what they tell you to do.
I mean, I agree with the timing of it all, but you can have a couple joints. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is 97, right? So this is Shiny Soup, right?
So we got to get Puff. We got to get Puff with the someone.
Which I think
we got to get Puff.
Because it was a fucking, they used the 10 Crack Commandments too much.
I agree. When I heard that shit, I was like, yo, what is there anything sacred anymore?
Like,
I agree.
So I was like, okay, so fine, you get Puff on it, whatever. But every song but 3 is with just them. SWV didn't come out like that. Now they remixes. They will
now you would know. Did they like the album? Were they with this? Okay, so it was the label. So it was the label.
And also Release Some Tension. The girls weren't even liking each other at this time. This is 97.
Okay.
The girls ain't feeling each other like that anyway. And behind the scenes shit is happening and all this kind of shit. So they just giving songs to. They just like, all right, do this and record it and that's it. You know what I mean? And they need it, and that's why Rain sounds so good as it did, because that's who they know, that's who they're comfortable with. You know what I mean? And All Star, but All Star ain't on this either. So it's like you got all of these people that they really don't really know. And I'm like, we on album number 3 and we're experimenting? Not like that. Like, so for me, I think Harvey Pierre was treating them like they were Total. For real.
Right.
That's what I felt like.
Because that's what it felt like. It felt like more of a Total album.
Yes.
But this is what I mean. At that time, Total was the shit. And maybe not at that time, but when Total was out, Total was the shit.
They were, because they album came out in 96. So
So now it becomes like, and again, I think this is where the label is sticking its hands in, is it's like, yo, if Total is the shit, you gotta follow Total. Instead of it being like, hey, you're SWV, y'all just keep doing whatever y'all do because you have proven yourself. Like you said, it's your 3rd album. But as a label with making money, my goal is to make money, not for you to be artistically yourself. So if Total was popping and you get Harv Pierre, it's almost just like as a general manager. If you get a certain general manager, you can't be mad when he starts trading everybody on the Knicks, because that's that nigga's MO. So you know if you hire him, like, oh shit, we hired this nigga, well, there go everything, because this nigga trade everybody whenever he comes down. So if you got Harvey Pierre, who is, for people watching, he was down with Bad Boy. He was like, what was he, like a Bad Boy vice president or something?
Vice president, but at this time he was the A&R of the black division and with Atlantic. And then once he did that, RCA, and then he came over to be Bad Boy with Puff. Right.
So just people watching to understand.
Then he used to do hooks too. What's his name? Joe Hooker. Like, wasn't he on like Black Rob, I Dare You, doing the hooks and stuff like that?
Yes. That was him.
Yeah, he used to do hooks and stuff.
And I think the other thing too, JR, is the point you just made a lot of sense. I just got this job, so I can't fumble the ball.
Right.
So I'm really got to prove myself. So I'm not here for no artistic shit. I'm here because the label wants me to sell records. I just got this job. I got to sell some records. If I'm the new coach in New York, I got to fucking win some games. So if that means I got to do whatever the fuck, the goal is I want to keep my job. New York City wants me to win games.
Right.
The MSG wants me to win games. I got to win games. So if that means I got to bench some people and the fans don't like it, fuck y'all, because I got to keep my job and win some games. So if I'm the new A&R at a label, I got to be like, look, Total, this is what we did with Total. They brought me here because of what I did with Total. So they want my magic. They want me to do what I do.
But he was on SWV first with New Beginning. He did that and then I don't know if he did Total. I'm not sure. Right,
but he was just from that Bad Boy clone. So at the end of the day, I just have to follow the lead of what is winning because I have to keep my job as A&R. So I feel you. Spence, what you got up next, bro?
Timberland starting this new AI company and signed the AI artist, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's like, yo, you just trying to take the soul out of everything.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Bro, I really want to ask the boy, like, yo, are you good? Like, are you going broke? Like, why are you doing this nut ass shit? Like, what is the bigger picture? But then again, you know what, y'all? I done seen some of my people on Instagram with AI people on their page talking about, I don't know, this AI shit is just going in a whole nother. I'm seeing too many people with their profile pictures is now AI, and I'm like, whoa, like that's what we doing. No disrespect to anybody out there, because there's a lot of my people's doing this shit, but it's just like, whoa, like wow, we going here. So, Spence, do me a favor, talk a little bit about what Timberland is doing for people watching who may not know.
Well, he started a company, and so he signed his first artist. I think her name is Tay Tay to AI. And then he's doing music with her, putting videos out. He's in the video and everything. Just like, and I get you. I mean, the fact that your music is always futuristic, but damn, I didn't think you was gonna go ahead with it. Like,
here's my thing: how do you sign something that ain't real?
And promote them like they are. Like that's what my problem is. Yeah. Like we're promoted like they doing real rollouts for these AI artists. Like they're doing interviews on Today's Show. Like what are we? What?
Whoa!
I didn't know that one.
How does the AI get on the Today Show?
That a girl that did an AI joint, and she did an interview with Gayle King on the Today Show.
Oh, and I gotta look this up now.
Yes. Man. An AI artist, I forgot what the girl name is because I think it's bullshit. But Gayle did an interview with her, and it's real. An AI artist, yeah. Her name.
Wow, yep. Gayle King clocks AI artist created Tia. Wow, Nikki Jones, Talisha, Nikki Jones.
The girl named
Yo.
An AI.
I'm just like,
it's crazy. Roll out.
But here's the thing, if I make you, why do I have to sign you? This is like some weird science shit from the 80s. If I made you, nigga, you mine. Like this, I don't gotta sign fucking Genie and Bewitched. Nigga, you mine. You my Genie. Fuck, I gotta sign you for. We signing genies now? I found the bottle. Now I gotta sign you to a deal? Nigga, no. I rubbed the lamp 3 times. You come pop out and give me what I want 3 times, nigga.
Right.
This is why we can't have Genie movies in 2026, because we know what niggas' 3 wishes is gonna be. It ain't gonna be, it's gonna be some wild shit. Niggas gonna be like, oh shit, word? That, here are my 3 wishes right now. So, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, Spence, I'm with you. Because it's like, bro, like, what are you trying to do? And I saw something where Guru and Timberland was having a conversation, and Guru was trying to really be respectful, but it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
I've been with Timberland Hill since he had the girl Tank. And
you know what? And he kept saying she's the next Aaliyah.
Didn't he?
Which is right there with what Spence is talking about with Benny. Like, this is gonna be the next fucking, this album is gonna be, because I remember that's what made me pull up.
Dream that this girl was in. It was like, come on, yo. Like you
she
doing
can rap, she
too
can
much.
sing. They said she
and
was supposed
she's
to
a
be the one.
dope
Yeah, she is dope.
yo. She's dope as shit.
But you know, then you got Dame saying the same thing about one of his artists. She the gay Aaliyah. She the white gay Aaliyah. You know,
Not
Dame
white.
got an artist. Yeah, Dame got an artist, a shorty, but he like, she's the white gay Aaliyah. Like, yo, can we stop doing the whole, this is the next Aaliyah, this is the next whatever. So, yeah, I got to do some more research on that with Tim, because I don't, you're in a position where you could actually get a real person and put energy and music into creating something real. So again, I don't know if I feel like with Timbaland and so many of these boys, it's just money behind it. So whoever is the AI company who owns this is like, Timbaland, if you do this, like, yo, here's 100 million. If you help us promote this and take it this way, because I just don't see somebody just popping up and being like, yo, this is what I'm going to do. If anything, I could see somebody saying, yo, this is my new artist. The album drops, everybody loves it, and then it's like, guess what, y'all? It's AI. Like, but to come out promoting it like it's AI and all the backlash he's taking for it, it's got to be some behind the scenes money going in his pocket for him to have to take this kind of hit. And then he also did that nut ass shit where he like stole some young boy producer's beat. Like he did something like, it was like, yo, this is my new beat. And then somebody was like, nah, that's this other boy on Instagram who be posting beats. And he took his, so it's I don't know. And I don't know, JR, Spence, where do y'all think Timbaland started to go downhill? Was it after the Justin? It had to be after the 2020, the first 2020, because that album to me is fire.
Yes.
But I feel like after that, Timbaland just started going down. Like there was...
And I started to see when it came to Timbaland too, it's like he had a muse during every era of his production, right? Because when he first came in, it was him and Missy, right? That was kind of his muse there, and they was killing it for everybody, right? So then when the 2000s comes in, right? And this is like early 2000s, this is when he comes in with oh God, what kind of, I guess we could say Static, right? Static is kind of and then he had, what's his name? What's the boy name that was on drugs and was doing a lot of coke? And he called him the Piano Man.
You talking about Danger?
Scott
Storch.
Storch, right? So he had that. So then when it came into 2006, right? Timbaland gets Danger. The sound changes because he got Nelly Furtado, Justin Timberlake. He needed that.
That's when they started that little crew. But then he dissed Prince. And that was a knock when he dissed Prince.
Justin dissed Prince?
Yeah, when Justin dissed Prince, but it was on one of their posse cuts.
Yeah, it was on Give It To Me, yes. And he dissed Prince, right. So it was like, then it was like after kind of 2020 experience, because Danger is on that too, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's James Fenderoy. He's more on that on the 2020 experience. It's like after that, that's when it was kind of like Timbaland, this new sound he couldn't really get in. That's why he was doing so much with Tank. He was like, oh, Tink. He was like, oh yeah, she's it. She's the new girl. And she does nothing. Then he tried to bring out another artist. Couldn't do nothing. So now it's just like, fuck it, let me try AI then. You know what I mean? He's just trying to fit in. And it's just like, Tim, why are you doing this? Like, for what? Like, you wildin'.
He had Miss Jade from Philly at one time.
Yeah, Miss Jade. I mean, he had Tweet. Tweet was popping for a while. He had I don't know. I can't call that. Next up, I got Big Daddy Kane. One of my favorite MCs. What did he do wrong? Doing too much nut ass shit. That's where Kane went wrong. First two albums, classic. Long Live the Kane. It's a Big Daddy thing, bro. These two albums right here, I mean, bro, I can't tell you enough. Long Live the Kane. It's a Big Daddy thing. Niggas know back in the day, I had the high top fade. They used to call me Big Daddy Kill. This nigga's the Rosa Parks for dark skinned niggas. But then when that nigga did A Taste of Chocolate, nigga, that's when it started to go downhill with that song All of Me by Barry White. Like, this nigga I'm like, bro, like, yo, what are you doing, my nigga? Then, the Prince of Darkness. And then it was just after that, it was going to me. And he still had Veterans Day and Looks Like a Job 4 and Daddy's Home. Nobody that time had gone. To me, the last Dope Kane song was Enough Respect off the Juice soundtrack. Like that was his last rodeo of people caring about Kane. And I just think it was just, he had the naked book, like he was in some wild pose with Madonna, Naomi Campbell. He was just doing too much nut ass shit. That just wasn't hip hop no more. You know what I mean?
I thought he was back when he was on the Platinum Plus with Big L. I said, "Oh, this Kane, he back."
Yeah. But I mean, I think it was too late. Like, whereas like I felt like G rap style still sounds good now. I don't know if Big Daddy Kane's like I don't know if that style fits in. Like it's good for a verse. I don't know if it's good for an entire album of Kane. And for people watching, me and Spencer from Philly doing nut ass shit, that's just a Philly slang for just like doing too much or whatever like that. You know what I mean? And if a Philly boy says something to you like, yo, my bad fam, I was on some nut ass shit, that's really a humble apology. Like that's really saying I'm sorry. Like, my bad, I was on some nut ass shit at that time. So I saw somebody say it on Instagram and I was like, yo, I feel that. Like, if a Philly nigga tell you that, that's like the deepest.
Yeah, he's breaking it down.
That's the deepest apology you could get from a Philly nigga. It's like, yo, my bad, I was on some nut ass shit. Like, that's it. Like, you're not, that's the cream of the crop. On the R&B tip, I got Drew Hill, one of my favorite groups ever. Their downfalls, there's too many members flip-flopping. Like, these niggas don't know who's in the group. I can't keep up with the group. Woody left, then Woody came back. Then Scola joined the group for the third album, Drew World Order. Then Smoking Black from Player came. Then Jazz left, and then Nokio left. But now when they tour, it's Cisco, Nokio, Scola, Black, and Smoke. I don't know who the fuck is in the group no more. JR, you tell me. I feel like as long as Cisco is there, nobody really gives a fuck. I mean, for the most part, maybe Jazz. You know what I mean? You want to see Jazz. I don't care. I don't think nobody really cares about Noke or Wood. It's kind of like if Jazz and Cisco are there, nigga, the three of us could be the fucking rest of the group and people would be okay with that. But what do you think about Drew Hill? Do you agree with that? Because I know when the Temps broke up, you kind of had two Temps that were touring at the same time. And like 3 and 2 new members were over here and 2 old members. And like, so do you think Cisco and Jazz and 3 other niggas is fine? Or do you think you need, you know how we was talking with Elise about like if, like I would see Tony, and the first thing I'd always do is Raphael Sadiq gonna be there. And if he ain't there, I don't want no parts of it.
Correct.
Now, if Raph and Dwayne is there, I don't care if Tim ain't there. Personally, I don't really know what the boy look like. So anybody could be there for the most part. You just want Raph and Dwayne. Do you feel like Cisco and Jazz are enough to hold down with 3 other random niggas to be Drew Hill? Or do you feel like it needs to be Woody, Nokio, Jazz, and Cisco?
I mean, it's kind of, you want the original 4, to be honest. That's who we met. That's what we enjoyed. And that, I just think that, once Cisco went solo with Unreleased the Dragon and the Thong song blew up, it was kind of like, oh, is he going to go back? And then when he came out with that second one, it didn't do shit. And it clowned him. He went back home. And when he went back home, everybody's there, but it just didn't feel authentic, for real. Drew World Order didn't really feel authentic to me at all. And I think that's when they lost it. It's always the solo motherfucker go solo, and they hit. And it's like Cisco hit, and he hit. You know what I'm saying? So then it was just like, then you come back, and then it's like all that. But I do agree with you.
It's just too many members. I can't. It's like the Roots. The Roots just be fucking rotate niggas. Like, like it ain't shit. Like, I swear the Roots get new members every album. Like, you know what I mean? So, it felt like first it was Sky Storch, then it was Kamal, then they brought in James Poyser, then You got the trombone nigga now. Then you got the dude who plays the little MP on stage now. What's boy's name? I forgot his name. Like he does all the like live drumming on stage with the drum machine, and you got the guitar play. Right, you got Captain Kirk. Like, and none of these niggas was on Philadelphia Things Fall Apart. You know what I mean? None of them. You know, so that's that. JR, what you got up next?
This 5. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go to Janet, and I think y'all know what.
I got something, but I think you're gonna go somewhere else.
Oh well, you know where I'm going, and everybody
knows where I'm going.
I'm going to the Super Bowl. Yes. Yeah. I'm going there. And I think she picked the wrong person. She shouldn't have never picked Justin to begin with.
For real. What? Rip the titty out?
No,
or just do the show with?
Come on stage at all.
Oh, okay.
She should have never been there. She should have picked Usher. Yeah, it was hot. It was hot as fish grease at this time. You could have had everybody doing that, and it would have been hot.
Does Usher pull it
by herself?
Does Usher pull the titty out though?
Huh?
Does Usher pull the titty out or not?
That one never happened.
So no titty?
No.
I'm fucking asking, nigga. Like, what? I thought the fact that he pulled the titty out was the thing that fucked up everything. Like, right? Like, if he never pulled the titty out, is the Super Bowl bad?
Well, yeah, obviously.
I thought that was the bad thing. I thought it was like, oh my God,
it was a malfunction, right?
It was, yes.
Oh, I thought it was on purpose.
No.
It was
because Janet has a pierce in there. So it wasn't like that. That's why when you see her, she grabbed it. Yeah, he pulled it too early. Because when it's supposed to say take your clothes off, it should have went out and he would have been. But he went too early. So the light
pulled. So he was not supposed to pull the titty out right then, but he was supposed to pull it out eventually.
But the lights was out, so we wouldn't.
When the lights are out, so why are we pulling the titty out in the dark? I'm so confused, y'all. Like, if we're gonna pull it,
very mysterious. That's the artist she's been. She's very sensual but mysterious.
So we pull the titty out in the dark.
You gotta think, and it wouldn't have been pulled out at all. But Justin pulled the joint too much because it was a lace under that. He pulled all of it off. Yes. Oh, the lace was supposed to stay. The lace was supposed to stay. We were supposed to see the lace with the lights out.
Oh, okay.
So you know Justin at the end of his joint have you naked by the end of this song.
Right.
So he was supposed to pull, and it was supposed to be the lace, but instead he pulled the whole thing off and pulled it too early.
Okay, I gotta go back and rewatch this because I'm not remembering. I'm not remembering.
And they even talk about it. They was like, yes. It should have been 1, 2, 3 lights, but Justin pulled. It was like 1, 2, boom.
Oh, okay. Justin got too excited. He got too excited.
They said he was drunk. Justin was drinking.
Yeah, they ain't really even stand up for it, right?
No.
But, yeah, that's why I kind of was cool. Yeah, that's why I kind of stopped. I was like, damn, you ain't even gonna step up and be like, it was my bad.
Music is great. But he act like, he wasn't there and he didn't know.
I wasn't feeling that.
Yeah.
Oh, word?
He should have went with Usher because Usher went to do shit like that. Just saying.
Usher would have got it right?
Yeah, I don't even think, but I think...
Here's the thing. Don't put me on stage with nobody and ask me to pull your titty, but don't pull it all. Like, that's too many rules for me, nigga. Like, niggas are simple-minded, nigga. Did we really?
You think CBS didn't practice that?
No, I agree. Okay, maybe maybe he bust early. You know, niggas get excited, and it was just like, hey, I'm on TV. I don't know, man. I just like the word titty. So
her career was already solidified as it was, so it really couldn't be like, oh my God, her career was completely done. But it kind of blackboarded her from radio, and they wasn't playing her.
Oh, word.
No, clear.
All because of the Super Bowl?
Yep. She was not getting played on radio. They were not playing her on MTV. They were not playing her on VH1.
Wow. Yo, I had no idea about this. I didn't know it got that deep.
Because they wanted her
like it was my bad.
So she did not a press conference. She did like a video, apologized and said, listen, whoever felt hurt, I'm sorry. She didn't even want to do that because she was like, yo, it's a mistake. Okay, cool. But it was like she was invited to the Grammys, and Les Moonves wanted her to, and they were dedicating it to Luther. And she was presenting that. They wanted her to go up there and apologize again. She like, it's not even about me. I'm presenting something to Luther, and y'all want me to. She was like, I'm not doing it. So the power.
And what year was this?
2004.
Yo, it's so crazy because that wouldn't be shit now.
Nothing. Not a
like that's the craziest. That's to show you how wild the world is right now. That Janet could have came up there with both her titties out and niggas wouldn't have said anything.
And she is the reason for YouTube.
What
YouTube
you mean?
Was created because of that moment.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I had no idea.
YouTube was created because of that moment, and that's why we got YouTube to this day, because of that 7 seconds.
It's crazy. I saw something the other day when it was like Google Pics got started because of that Jennifer Lopez dress.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Yep.
Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
So but that career wasn't done. But
I thought she was gonna say when she stopped fucking with Jam and Lewis and started messing with Jermaine Dupri on the production. Not talking about who she was dating, but
the 20YO. I agree with that too. Just because you fucking don't mean y'all good musically, and they were not.
And that's always the problem. Like they always get with somebody new. They leave Crucial Keys and start messing with Swiss. And now since he a producer, Shorty, let me produce your stuff.
Crazy.
And it's like, nah.
What's so crazy? Jam and Lewis is still a part of that album that Jermaine did. And it kind of, and it bothers me too. Because now I know that when Janet did the EPK, if anybody knows what EPKs are, you know what I mean? Like the behind the scenes, they were recorded doing the album. And when I knew, I was like, okay, when she said yes, Jermaine Dupri is like a Quincy Jones to me, I said, here we go. I said, here we go. I was like, so when I listened to that album, 20YO, I said, yeah, Jam and Lewis might have did the vocal production. They damn sure ain't do a lot of these beats because a lot of it did not sound like them at all.
Right.
At all. Like some of the songs did, but yeah, I agree. And it's like soon as she did Unbreakable and got back with Jam and Lewis, it was like, this is what we've been missing. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I can agree to that though too. It's like, yeah, she got with Jermaine Dupri, and then after that with Discipline, she got with Rodney Jerkins and Neo and all of them. And it was like y'all coming at Janet like fans and not trying to give her a sound that she has. So yes, I agree with that too.
Again, trying to keep up with the time. Spence, who you got up next?
I got LL because of a song he was featured on. I don't know if y'all remember. He did a song with this country artist called Brad Paisley called Accidental Racist.
Yeah.
Very tone deaf. I mean, some of the stuff he was saying, they was both saying on there, I was just like, yo, this
you know what? I gotta listen to that.
I was just like, why? Why?
Yeah, it was a bad song,
terrible.
He was saying stuff like, if you don't look at my chain, I forgive you for the iron chains you put on us. R.I.P. Robert Lee. Thanks Abraham Lincoln for freeing us. Like this joint was
what?
Yeah. It was bad, man. And I get what they was trying to do, but they just didn't convey it right at all, man.
Yeah,
I gotta listen to it because I saw it, but I like never even bothered to like listen to the song.
And it got big because that's why Saturday Night Live had to do something with it.
Yeah.
What's his name? Keenan.
Yeah, Keenan.
Yeah.
They
had to do
the song.
They're
like racism is over now. We did the song. Racism is over now.
Right. Like it was like really. I was like, yeah, I get it, but no.
Yeah, it was just very tone deaf. If you don't judge me for my do-rag, I won't judge you for your flag. Like,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
It was horrible.
All right, the only people I got left, I got Sci-Hi and just no new music, man. Like No Dope Till Sundays, which I think is a 5 mic album. I didn't even realize that was 2017. Like, we talking 9 years ago. Like, so not enough music. I got the Alcoholics trying to keep up with the times. When they did that song Best You Can with Pharrell doing the beat, I just felt like, here we go. Like, and it just felt, that was off that album, The XO Experience in 2001. And I feel like it was just downhill. So I feel like that's the thing. Like, so many people, I mean, people forget the Roots had that song done by, it was either Scott Storch, and it was like, the chorus was like mumble jumbo. Like, I forgot, Not Saying Nothing or something like that. And that was a bad thing. On the R&B, I think that's all I got left. Oh no, I had nah, that's it. I had some other people, but it ain't even worth mentioning. So, you got anybody else? JR?
It was one that I had in the stats, and I was gonna say Brandy, and we all know what that was. The lie just messed up everything. Like,
the lie about being married.
Yes,
it's so funny because I always say this at work. I stay in my lane so much, I don't know what be going on. People was like, "You didn't know such was in the hospital?" Nah, I didn't. Like, you didn't know. I really just stay in my own little world. Yes. So I knew Brandy had lied about being married, but I didn't know like people really cared about it. Like that, like people were fucked up by that.
Yeah, because it was like that, because she went so deep about lying. Like, you went on Oprah, you went on this. She was like, "I'm married." She did the special delivery when she was having the baby.
So did she lied just because she wanted to be like married before she had the baby?
No, it was just the image. She didn't want to be married. But Brandy always had that good girl image. So they wanted to keep the image going. And I'm like, Brandy is a grown chick. That's why. But again, that was her image. You know what I mean? So then you're coming out with an album, Aphrodisiac, which you're trying to be sexy and do all of this. But no, it's like, it's not working. You lied.
Right. And that's crazy because I thought, like, I didn't like that, and maybe it's just my allegiances, but I didn't like Timbaland doing an album with Brandy because, like, you're Aaliyah's producer. I know Aaliyah's passed, but I like the album. There's some bangers on there, but as a whole, did you like that album?
Yeah, we talked about it on our show with Ed Bowser, and we talked about it with him. I enjoyed it. It's actually my third favorite Brandy project, to be honest.
Okay.
But I agree with Elise what she said on the show. It's the Timbaland, the joints he didn't do, that's her favorites. You know what I'm saying? Like, she like, I love the joints Kanye did. I love the joint Organized Noise did. I love the joint that, the other ones did. I did what Warren Campbell did. She was just like, he feels like what was missing, and I was like, damn, you on point. That's why I was like, Timbaland always had a muse. This is where Missy was missing. You needed her in there to kind of vocally maybe produce Brandy, come in and help her do a little bit of the writing and things, and it would have kind of had some depth to it. And I was like, damn, you right. Because this R&B chick, you needed Missy, you know what I mean? But you didn't have her. It was just you and Candace Nelson and all these other new people. So I just think I agree with Elise. I think he needed Missy to help with this Brandy album, for real. And I think it probably would have might have been better and came off better for everybody else. Right.
All right. Spence, you got anybody else left, bro?
Yeah, I got I don't know if y'all remember when Jay-Z did like the B-side concert. He did 2 B-side concerts. Well, the first one. So, he was rocking, killing the show. So then he brought out Beanie Siegel. The crowd went crazy. Like, so, they seeing everybody back together, band back together. You see the Young Guns, everybody up there. So after the show, Jay-Z tell Guru, yo, go meet up. Let's meet up at the studio. Nobody went to the studio. They wanted to go party with Rihanna instead of linking up to go to the studio.
What?
Yeah. So I found this out because Young Chris was on Math Hoffa's show, and he talked about it. And so he was like, "Yeah, we done the show. Everything we back talking. So yo, I'm gonna meet y'all at the studio." He said, now Chris said, I don't know if it was a test just to see where we was at in our mind or whatever, but nobody wanted to go. They all wanted to go to a party and party with Rihanna.
Damn.
And so
Chris bet Jay never called them again.
Yeah, so they, the man Hoff was like, come on. So Chris called Freeway. He said, what happened at the B-side show? And he said it verbatim. Like, nobody want to go. But none of them wanted to go. They wanted to go to the party.
So do you think it was like they didn't even want to fuck with Jay no more? Like, you shady, so fuck you. Like, we came and did the show.
Well, if they already did the show, you was messing with them. Because if you wasn't messing with them, why go to the show?
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Damn. Messed up a great opportunity.
That's like, yo.
Wow.
Here's the crazy part. You give up that opportunity to go to a party with Rihanna. I couldn't give up that opportunity to smash Rihanna. Like, that's the thing. Like, you ain't going out with Rihanna. You're just going to a club.
Right.
And like, that's the part that's why I'm like, yo, that's where, for me as Math as an interview, I'd be like, bro, you gotta give me more. Like, what are you saying? Like, you didn't want to fuck with Jay no more? Because I'm sure niggas ain't eating back home in Philly like they would be if they were still on Rockefeller. So it would, like, you got to give me more about that story. You can't just tell me, like, you know what I mean? Like, that just sounds crazy.
Yeah. He said they didn't. No, he said, he said, Chris was like, I got my rhymes ready. Free, how free work. But
right.
He said, they want to go party.
Yo, how a billionaire invites you to the studio and you want to go to a party is Chris, beyond me.
Yeah, Chris said, I don't know if Jay was testing us or not, but just to see if we was going to show up, and then he might have called me like, are they there? I don't know.
Right. Like, that's the wildest part. Like, you stand up Jay-Z for a business opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even, nigga, if that was me and you called me on the phone, nigga, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, Spence. I don't even want to talk about that no more. I'm gonna act like that shit never even happened. Like
I said, if you watch the concert, when Siegel come out, the crowd go crazy. So like that, and Jay was feeling it, like yeah, like yeah, I did this for y'all, and then it's never,
That's crazy. I had just seen something the other day. I forgot what it was, but some entertainment lawyer was like talking about who had the best contracts. And they was like, yo, Rockefeller had some of the best contracts as far as like giving everybody they publishing and like not keeping those shit. It was something on IG. Bleak was on it. And he was like, yo, Jay always did everybody fair. Like, an entertainment lawyer came on, was like, yeah, like Rockefeller Records probably had during that run of, Murder Inc. and Rough Riders and all that. It was like, yo, yeah, Rockefeller probably had the best contracts for artists. You know what I mean? So that
I do know Bleak when he because Bleak got his own podcast. He said he had a messed up contract. Dame helped him get out of it. So I don't know what was going on with that, but he kind of talked about that whole thing. So I don't know.
Right. And I wonder, was Bleak on Rockefeller? I mean, I know he was, but I'm just trying to think, like, kind of like with Duck Down, like, Black Moon was on, God damn, what was Black Moon on? Black Moon was on,
Nervous.
What was this? Yeah, they was on Rec Records, Nervous and Rec. And then I think so was Smith & Wesson, but then the Helter Skelter OGC was on Duck Down. So I thought Bleak, but maybe Bleak was on Rockefeller. But I don't know why Dame would have to help him.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. But that's crazy. There's no way in the world I'm ever admitting that. I'm lying like shit for the rest of my life. Like, yo, you stood up Jay-Z? No, I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
I'm gonna find a clip and send it to you. That's going crazy.
I'm like, nigga, that's something I'm just never admitting to. Like, that's, you call me on the phone. Nope, I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. You bugging.
It was all in the room.
I would never
like,
say that.
It was in a barbershop, like, huh? What? He like, nah. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, JR, where can they get at you, bro? With the R&B guru, with the R&B reps.
Oh, the R&B reps, just follow us. When this is we are ending our Stevie, thing, because everybody that came on and talked about a Stevie album. This one we talked about the Character album with Rashid from R&B Talk Show. And it was dope. You know what I mean? This is when we get to kind of be funny with it, because this is some songs on that album, man. Listen. But it was a good episode. Like I said, shout out to Angie Martinez for putting our clip into the show with her and Mary, and she actually asked Mary about the clip. I mean, it was my clip, because at the end of the day, I know what I cut and all of that, and they played the whole clip. So that was dope. But yeah, just follow us on R&B Reps. Our subscribe rate, we're going up and up, which is amazing. Follow me on Junior's World of Soul, Instagram, Twitter, Naturally Elise on Instagram and Twitter. Follow her TikTok to see Billy doing her guitar thing. You know what I'm saying? Check her out on there. Check us out on TikTok as well. We put some nice clips up and things like that. But it's the R&B
I'm sorry, is Billy her alter ego?
I called her that name when she started.
I'm like, who the fuck is Billy?
Because I was like, she's Billy Withers.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm like, you like see Billy do her thing. I'm like, there's a new nigga in the group. Like, fuck.
So now everybody is now that I done put that out there. People are calling her Billy now. So yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, Demeter Joe. Okay, that's what's up. All right, Spence, where can they get at you, bro?
88 Spence on Twitter and IG.
Yeah, Demeter Joe. I'm like, who the fuck is Demeter Joe? Like, you Janet, nigga. And y'all already know this. Kill 889 Twitter, IG. Go check out at pbs.org. Kill End the Kids. It is a documentary about myself and two of my teens. One who was murdered 7 years ago. One who was recently robbed at gunpoint, and how we're working with him to get through things. Just got the call. Just got the text. We just got accepted in what film festival is this? Another film festival, the Community Stories Film Festival in Silver Spring in March. So prayerfully we'll take home a chip in that too. Again, shout out to you, Spence. Born Day last weekend. Again, for coming down with rocking with my kids. Spence will tell you, my kids hilarious, man. My kids they hilarious. And they was even more off the wall today, and Austin Aiden wasn't even there. And they still was off the wall today. I got to show you the clip. I was doing my hip hop curriculum with them, and I played them Nas, The World Is Yours. And they in there like bobbing their heads. I was like, what you think about it? They was like, that shit trash. They was like, the beat whack, this whack. I'm like, who y'all like? They was like, NBA YN. NBA YN. I'm like, you know what I mean? So it's funny. I got some clips. I'm gonna put them up on IG, but they hilarious, man. So they funny. All right, good peoples. I will check y'all next week.